So, have you seen any changes in the children since you've put these new...
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a couple of really good case studies. I don't know whether you want me to save that until I bring Helena in, but there's one child in particular.
Us about it. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got one little individual. Now, he's a boy that I've dealt with off and on, which is unusual because predominantly I'm secondary. Every now and again, if they've got ones that are a little bit tricky, generally I'll get brought in for primary as well. So there's one student that I've been working with for the last couple of years, and without a doubt he's trauma affected. We knew that right from the word go. I probably lean towards more fetal alcohol syndrome these days, but with it there's also been a history of family domestic violence and everything else. Now this kid's got some diabolical behaviours because he will go from everything's hunky-dory to, oh my God, you touched my pencil case, and will escalate. There is a no in between. And simple things will trigger him too, like, someone's gone, he'll go to the library to go and use a computer. Heaven forbid someone's gone to the spot that he prefers to go to all the time. That will be enough for him to storm off and so on and so forth. So we tend to see a lot of these. Dad was very, very reluctant to work with us, to do anything for the last couple of years. And once I got into this position, obviously I started working with him a little bit more. Now we've got him to the point where we talk to him about trauma. We talk to him that he's stressed about understanding this. We've brought Dad in, and rather than suspending him or withdrawing him if there's been a behaviour issue or if we start to see that he's starting to escalate, I'll give him a circuit breaker, to the point where this kid now knows, and actually said to the chaplain the other day, she's going to give me a circuit breaker. But Dad's quite happy with this too. I've taken the approach with him as well. I've brought him in and sort of said, look, obviously not having a good day, haven't really focused on what's happened. I don't think he's travelling that well. I'd really like you to take him home for a day or two, just let him reset, have some time with him, let him calm down. Let's go back into the classroom again once he's happy about it. So, and that kid's travelling so much better these days. The language that we've used with him is non-confrontational anymore. He doesn't feel like he's being blamed for things. We're trying to work with him. He understands that we're trying to work with him to actually do this. And this is a year 5 student, so in that sort of sense. Likewise with my secondary, I've had a couple of those. That again, same sort of approach that I've taken with it. Rather than being a little bit more straight down the line, this is what you need to do. How about we look at sending you on some work experience if you're finding school too hard to cope with on this sort of thing? What else is going on? What can we do for you? Offering them incentives like if you can go to English or you can go to maths and kind of keep it together there for a while, we'll give you some time out with the gardener, or we'll give you something else that you'd like to do in that sort of sense. So rather than trying to take an approach where you are either sitting them up in the office or you're withdrawing them or doing those sort of things, I'd really like to, and I think the kids appreciate it too, that we're trying to work with them and that we're including them in that discussion as well. We're not talking about them, we're talking with them about how we can best see that problem and how we can go forward in the future and how they can monitor their own behaviour too. So for the secondary kids, it's about them starting to recognise their triggers too and actually getting them to remove themselves from that situation before it escalates. So we'll offer a chaplain card and things like that for either primary or secondary students. So if they feel that they're not travelling too well or something's upset them, they can just quietly show that to the teacher and zip out of class and come up here and either have some woosah time with Helena or come in here and if that's what they need to do. And then we can look at, what strategy might work for them in the future as well.